really understand God's ways. Is it possible for us as humans to really know and comprehend why God does what he does? So the story goes about this famous magician who had this parrot that was an amazing, wonderful act. In fact, the parrot never left his side. Literally, while he was training, while he was practicing, and while he was performing. This turned into a problem. Because as he's there on stage once, in front of this massive crowd of 3,000 people, doing one of his famous acts, and suddenly the parrot screams out, "Ah, look at his left sleeve!" Well, that ruined that act. That was over with that trick. And the next time he was performing, and the parrot drew everyone's attention to his right lapel, and then to his left pocket. Finally, he had no choice, and he got rid of the parrot. He sold it. Of course, he sold it for a lot of money, and life was back to normal. As he was building his fame, he was building also his fortune, and finally, he made it. He was invited to be the main attraction for the night entertainment on the most luxurious cruise line. And there he is, the opening night. He's there on stage. As he's about to begin the act, he scans the crowd, and lo and behold, there, perched on one of the rich people's shoulder, is the parrot, looking straight at him. And he's thinking to himself, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And he makes a silent prayer, God, get me out of this pickle. And salvation couldn't come fast enough. Boom! The whole place went dark. Dust, debris, flying all over. And next thing he knows, he's floating in the sea, waist deep in frigid cold water, but at least he's alive, holding on for dear life to this plank of wood. And as they're floating through the dark of the night, he's thinking to himself, who else made it out of the ship? Well, as the sun rose in the morning, he looks across the plank of wood, and guess who's there? The parrot sitting right there, perched there, looking straight at him. He looks at the parrot looks at him, he looks at the parrot. No one says a word, no one's going to break the silence. And they float that way all day. Sun sets, nightfall, entire night again. This went on for 3 days, and on the 4th day, as the sun rose, the parrot screams out to him and goes, okay, I give up. What'd you do with the ship? And why do I say this? Because we all have that same attitude. We think we know what's going on. Yes, sometimes God is very generous to us, and he gives us a little glimpse, a little appreciation of what's going on. But most of the time, we don't really understand what's happening. The conflict, the dilemma, the pain that we have is because we forget that we're mortal beings. We forget that we're human beings, and we're not necessarily meant to understand God's ways. We need to have faith. We need to work on believing in the fact that God knows what he's doing, and notwithstanding the fact that it doesn't always make sense to us, it's still good, it's still true, and it's still just. Shalom.